Hello, welcome to this review of The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, and I loved it. I should just warn you, there may be some spoilers. This is actually my second take of doing this, and the first one I was literally just describing exactly what happened rather than reviewing it. So I'm going to try and stick to a review now and not just give a description of it, because you may not have seen it yet. Basically I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I loved all the acting. Well, I say acting, you know, the puppeteering, but it had voice actors. And I thought that was good. The direction was good. The action scenes were good. I just thought everything about it was amazing. And I grew up with The Dark Crystal, the film, so that's a big favourite of mine from my childhood. And so this prequel coming out is brilliant, and they're faithful to the original story. Sometimes with prequels you worry that they're going to go off and do their own thing, but I feel as if it is quite faithful to the film. I read somewhere that it's not strictly completely faithful to earlier books, but I've not read them, so I can't speak for that. But it is in line with the film. It's obviously set a long time before the film. It's unclear exactly how far before the film. I tried to find out online, but different websites were vague, and they said they didn't really know. But I'm guessing it's a long time before the film, because just the state of the Emperor. In the film he's old and dies, and in this he's still quite young and in his prime. Also, obviously, in the film, all the Gelfling have been wiped out, and in this, there are loads of Gelfling. There's 7 clans of Gelfling, and they all have to unite, and they realise that the Skeksis are bad, and then they set up a resistance, hence the name, Age of Resistance. And it is really good. I really did enjoy it an awful lot, and for a puppet TV show, you know, it really was good. I mean, there was a few bits of violence in places, and you know, a little bit of blood and gore and stuff. Not too much, because there's only so much you can do with a puppet. But what they could do, they did do, and they did it well. And I was thinking, this is definitely not for little kids. So the original film, which I got here, is a PG. So I would say the TV series is probably along those sort of lines. I don't know exactly what age rating it had, but it's definitely not for little kids, because you know, there are violence, and a lot of Gelfling die in it, and Gelfling that you get to know as well, because obviously in this film, all the Gelfling are wiped out. There's only Jen and Kira are left, so that's not a spoiler to say that. I mean, this has been around since 1980. No, when does it come out? I'm not sure. It says copyright 1994 on the back of here, but that can't be right. Anyway, it was an 80s film. So anyway, all the Gelfling are gone in the film. So in this one, you do unfortunately see a lot of Gelfling die, because the Skeksis start wiping them out basically to get their essence. Which is why you get the resistance. But yeah, I loved it. I watched all episodes, 10 episodes back to back, and immediately wanted to watch season 2 to see what happens next. That was all tinged with a kind of like sort of sadness, really, because I knew all the characters were going to end up dead, which is to get to the film. There is a moment in one of the episodes, I can't remember which one it is, where Dietz, who's one of the main characters, she has a vision. And as soon as she started having this vision, I recognised it straight away from this film. It's basically shown a bit from Kira, from her dream fast with Jen, when she's been hidden by her parents, and she also saw the bit of Jen healing the Dark Crystal. But there's no way of knowing how far these timelines are. I mean, I'm guessing there's a long time between them. It seems like, I don't know, they in the series they don't use the word years, they use the word trines, but I'm guessing there's a lot of trines between the two. But even so, it's set a long time before. I did really like it. Had a few, not plot twists, but plot developments and character developments. I mean, it really was well put together. Even if you like this sort of thing, you're going to love this. I can't fault it. I did see one review online where they said the first episode was a bit slow, But I don't think it was a bit slow. I mean, I thought it was timed and paced well because you're still setting up all the characters. In episode 1, you know, all the Gelfling love the Skeksis. They think they're the lords, they can't do any wrong, they protect them, and it takes quite a while so the Gelfling can actually see the truth, and obviously some of them don't want to believe it straight away, as you'd expect. They're being brought up believing their whole life that the Skeksis are good, and then when they're told actually no, they're evil, they don't want to believe it. And you see that a few times, and you get acquainted with a lot of the familiar characters. You get to see the Mystics and the Skeksis. Although the Mystics in the TV series aren't the ones you see in the film. They're different Mystics, although most of the Skeksis are the same. There's a few extra characters. It's got Olgra back. They call her Mother Olgra in this, and she's just Olgra in the film. But yeah, I loved it. I thought everything about it was good. I can't praise it enough. Right at the very, very end, it has kind of an optimistic ending, which is kind of tinged a little bit because obviously you know that eventually they're all going to die out. But at the end, it seems all optimistic, and then it cuts to the Skeksis for the very last scene, and where they've made the Gotham. But I feel compelled now to watch this film because as soon as I finished watching the first series, I was like, I want to watch the second series. There is no second series. I'm going to have to watch the film, so I might actually do that. Just because. And see, maybe I'll spot some more references in the film that they alluded to in the TV series, which I might have missed the first time round, but I doubt it. I say they do kind of make references to film. I'm actually glad that they're very subtle, because I have watched other like prequels or sequel TV shows where they're constantly referring to the source material, and it gets a bit tedious after a while. Like Cobra Kai was an example. I did a review for season 1, and I did mention that they referred to the original source material quite a bit. Season 2, I didn't make a review of that, but they referred to the original source material quite a lot, and I think it's that to the detriment of the series. Whereas this doesn't. It makes subtle references here and there, but it's very subtle, and it's kind of just like, you know, blink and you miss it. It's not in your face. They're not kind of like doing a fan service thing. It is, I mean, you could watch the series and have never seen the film. You don't ever have to have seen the film to appreciate the series. It works on its own because any reference to the film is very subtle. It's not important at that time that you understand the link, which I like, because as I said, programs which constantly refer to the source material just get tedious. It's like, okay, you've done the fan service, now let's move on and tell the story. And when they just keep doing it, it's just like, you know, this is getting boring now. When they don't do that, it's good. Anyway, I'm waffling now. I tend to do that on my reviews sometimes. I just kind of go on one and don't know when to stop talking, so I will stop talking now. Alright, bye.